Okay, so today is the Q&A session, and we have quite a number of questions for tonight. So I'll just go to the share the screen. Okay, hold on now. Hold on. Okay. All right, question one. First question. During my daily sitting meditation, I experience a lot of suffering, bodily suffering, mental suffering, cried. But when finished my sitting, all disappeared, especially during these 2 weeks. Should I report it to Bhante or just experience it and let it be? Now here, of course, if you are experiencing it while you are meditating and you are observing it, the difficulties of this noting, all these are part and parcel of meditation experiences, or vipassana meditation experiences, and you have to embrace them, you have to take note of them, and they are part of the development. They're part of development. So, should I report it to Bhante? That all depends on whether you have able to communicate with me or not. If sometimes in the Q&A session, then perfectly all right. But sometimes you may not able to have the chance. Then during this time, you just have to experience it and let it be. So especially like during in the retreat time, that would be good that during that time you have access to a teacher. Then it's good that even the suffering aspect of the meditation, it has to be reported to, because part of the progress of the vipassana is also part of how you pay attention to the different nature of unpleasant feelings. On Wednesday, when Bhante gave the Dhamma talk, my body felt stiff, neck also the same as if being pulled up. It suffered. Leg also like stick to the ground. Although body felt stiff, I can still listen to the talk. It happened around 40 minutes, then all disappeared. The body becomes relaxed. One day, I can't understand why it happened during the time I'm not meditating. Okay. Now, these things, when you listen to a Dhamma talk, there are few number of things may happen. Sometimes you have listened to it more attentively, then there are certain degree of concentration and mindfulness develops. And because of your past practice that you may have, then your stiffness and your here and there become more clearer. And then after some time, when you sort of like when the concentration is or mindfulness starts to drop a little bit, and then all these things also sometimes it disappear, or sometimes during in the Dhamma talk, after a while, you may have moved unknowingly, you don't really notice it, that you shift the body a little bit here and there, and after that all these things just disappeared. Sometimes also during in the meditation time, that when you go through all this pain and so on, but when you cannot take it anymore, your body tend to move a little bit, move here a little bit, just a tiny little movement, then the whole pain all gone. That's one thing. Well, there's another thing, is that all this stiffness may be due to old age. We blame old age again. So that's hard for us to explain. So all these things, you have to, all this difficulty, you have to embrace them. You have to be, accept them as they really are. And then if you have the time, and then you pay attention to them. So this is no This is perfectly all right. Huh? Okay. Next question. All right. Bante, I recently attended meditation at another center, Anapanasati technique. There I was told to do samatha meditation first and should not skip directly to vipassana. Is that true, Bante? And they also informed that you must achieve concentration in the upachara samadhi at least. Can you give me advice, Bante? Okay. Now this question is this is dilemma of a meditator. You know, many meditators gone through this this predicament, and you may have some doubts that, oh, should I do this first or should I continue what I'm doing? And they say it's like that. This one says like this. Yeah? So I understand. In the beginning part of my meditation too, I also have this, exactly have what you have encountered it, you know. But as I said, for me, last week, as long as you can able to progress in your any form of your meditation, especially in your vipassana meditation, then usually you will not look here and there, you know. But since sometimes that number of devotees, number of practitioners or yogis cannot able to develop that fast, they thought that perhaps we choose another form of meditation, maybe to boost up on the vipassana, give it a booster a little bit. Well, that is also understandable. It's only all these type of doubts, this type of doubt whether you should practice this or practice that, all these doubts will disappear when Nibbana is realized. Yeah, it's only that only Nibbana is realized. To give you an example, it's like, let's say you are in the top of the hill, right at the top of the peak of the mountain or peak of the hill. Then only you can know which road is actually come up to the peak. This road is okay or this road is okay. Then you will know which road is okay to come up. Until then, yogis will have this type of doubt here and there. Yogis will usually have this type of doubt. Now to go back to this question again, the commentary, in the commentaries and the sub-commentaries, in the many parts of the Sutta, Abhidhamma, and so on, they mention that to achieve enlightenment, you have to follow the way of 4 Satipatthana. And that also in the Sutta, of course. But in Satipatthana, it is divided into 2 types of meditation. One is samatha meditation, one is vipassana meditation. If you are using samatha for the purpose of vipassana again, just like I talked about it on Wednesday, if you are using samatha for the purpose of vipassana, for the purpose of supporting the vipassana, therefore that samatha meditation will fall under the 4 foundation of mindfulness. Then it's perfectly all right. If you practice samatha without the desire of getting out of liberation, or without want to have any form of enlightenment, then that samatha meditation or any form of meditation does not fall in under 4 foundation of mindfulness. Now, if you practice only vipassana is a direct aspect of 4 foundation of direct aspect in penetrating into all the 4 foundation here. So therefore there are 2 ways in the commentaries. It is mentioned very clearly. It is mentioned that you can either practice samatha and vipassana together, Or you want to practice samatha first, then after that you will go back to vipassana. Or you can practice directly vipassana. You can practice directly vipassana without having any form of samatha practice. Without having any form of samatha practice. To achieve that enlightenment, even in the first path. That is very clear in the commentaries. Very, very clear. But then nowadays, there are different lineage of meditation, different forms of meditation in the different, even in Burma or Thailand, even right now in Malaysia or Indonesia, the same thing. That that there are some teachers, some lineage, proclaim that when you want to start off with the Satipatthana, you must always start off with samatha meditation. You must always start off with samatha meditation. If you do not do any form of samatha meditation, that means your vipassana is all wrong, all not correct. That is not a right. That is not a right decision. That is their opinion. But the problem is that their opinion becomes a view already, It's actually a strong view. And they're attached to that view. They push it into the devotees or to push it to the meditators. And meditators, of course, without any form of understanding, much of understanding, they thought that must be the only way. To attain enlightenment, they must go through samatha and vipassana. And then, on the other hand, for those who are just practicing vipassana only, sometimes are not say all. Sometimes there are meditators who look down on samatha meditation. They say, all these things, no need. Waste your time, waste your desire. That also is wrong. That also is wrong. If you have some form of samatha practice, it is very good because it really supports and it clears off a number of hindrances. In order, when you practice the vipassana, it's much more easier because of the foundation that you may have from the samatha practice. Now, here, as I said, the commentaries and also from my own practice, from my own understanding, as I said, both ways also it's possible. Both ways is possible. But that is theory. But on the everyday side is that whether you have the time to practice both of them perfectly well, At least you want to. Some teachers also mentioned that if you want to practice this to attain, you want to go into vipassana, you must practice the vipassana as practice the samatha first. Then when you practice samatha, you must attain the first jhana, second jhana, third jhana, fourth jhana. Then only you can go into vipassana. That is a very long shot. For a yogi, it's going to take you a very long time. But do you have all the time? Do you have all the time to practice or not? Okay. So, here, even those who are practicing vipassana only, a pure vipassana, they call it a sukha vipassaka, a dry inside worker. Without the moisture of samatha, without the moisture of jhana, there's no lubricant with the jhana. You are dry in that sense. So therefore, even if you practice vipassana meditation, only any form of vipassana meditation, there's always some degree of upachara samadhi. Even from a samatha side, especially in the beginning part of it. When you notice the rising and falling, when before your rising, falling is changing and so on, when you notice this rising and falling and you can able to follow it, it's a form of upachara samadhi. It's a form of upachara samadhi. And when you even follow the in-breath, out-breath, let's say, without going into samatha, let's say, if you purposely want to do this anapanasati for the purpose of vipassana only, even you start off with anapanasati, there's also upachara samadhi. It is not kanika samadhi yet, It is still a upachara samadhi from a perspective of samatha. A little bit. There's always a little bit. But we normally don't tell you that this is all this samatha, but we don't want to confuse you. The vipassana is already quite confusing already sometimes. We don't want to confuse you, even especially at the beginning of it. So the thing is that when you go into develop further into this vipassana meditation, then this upachara samadhi will turn into kanika samadhi. It turns into kanika samadhi, where you begin to see things begin to change here and there, getting long, getting short, getting fast, getting slow. Yeah, the rising, falling, the in-breath out, getting step, 1 step, 2 step, got 1 step, 2 step, 3 step, got change here and there, this way, that way. That time, the kanika samadhi has come in. And the way that the commentary explain of this kanika samadhi is that this kanika samadhi and upachara samadhi, they are equivalent. They are equivalent. They are the same. So the thing is that when you come back to this meditation, as I said, that if you are just practicing vipassana alone, then it is perfectly all right. If you want to practice some samatha, then only turn it to vipassana. That is also perfectly all right. If you want to practice vipassana, then you want to practice all the way until, let's say, first enlightenment. Then after that, you want to switch over to samatha meditation. That is also perfectly all right, because you still got a long, long way to go. Don't think that it's reached until sotapanna already, wholesale, everything become easy and fun already. No. You still got a long, long, long way to go. So, as long as you one doesn't attach to the view that it must be the only way, this samatha and vipassana must be only way. When you speak it in this way, actually, it is not according to the commentary. But of course, again, they will throw you many books, throw you this sutta to you, throw that sutta to you, in order to make you to believe them, But the commentary stated very clearly, there's sukha vipassaka, and this is samatha vipassana yanika. Those who start off with samatha and then go with vipassana as their development. Okay, so my point, my stand is this: you can practice samatha and vipassana, or you want to practice vipassana alone. Both ways are perfectly all right. But the thing is that this is theory, but on the reality level, do you have all the time to practice so many meditation or not? If you do not have the time, the capacity, then my thing is to you is that go on with vipassana and go as far as you can go. Until hopefully until enlightenment. Then after that, you can do whatever you want. Okay. All right. Next question. Now, would Bande kindly consider to include meditation sittings in our evening lessons, so as to give a balance between theory and practical? Also, students who are not good at meditation like myself may benefit from guided sittings. Well, now this guided meditation, this time I did not do it for a number of reasons. But before I tell you the reasons, during in the retreat, most of the time I do guided meditation before the Dhamma talk starts. I do a guided meditation with the yogis before the Dhamma talk starts, and all this type of guided meditation is recorded. They're recorded, and you can able to access it also if you go to a Google You go to a Google search and you type my name, Guawesi, then usually the first one, and then you go to the blog. And when you go to the blog, what you should look for is the guided meditation. And in this the file on guided meditation, especially in the Vasa retreat, as a long 3 months retreat. Yeah? Sometimes in the 2 weeks retreat or 3 weeks retreat, sometimes I have a guided meditation, but I do not have a diverse form of that guided meditation. In the Vasa retreat, because it's a 3 months retreat now, then that time, what I do is that I have 2 weeks, like sometimes I take 2 weeks for each type of meditation. For example, I start off with metta, then after that karuna, then after that mudita, then after that upekkha. Okay, then after that I also start off with contemplation on death, then also contemplation on the qualities of the Buddha. Then the qualities of Buddha, and then after that, the 32 parts of the body too. 32 parts of the body. So there's a wide range of guided meditation I included there in the retreat, but not here. Now here I can't do it for a number of reasons. Because one thing is that we have a diverse people who are listening to the Dhamma talk. Not everyone are into a state of meditation, and sometimes you may not have the time also. So I would like to keep this talk simple and just give a talk. And also if I do the guided meditation in the beginning, let's say 15-20 minutes, then especially sometimes add on with the Dhamma talk. And we add on with the Dhamma talk, sometimes my talk runs to 1 hour 15 minutes. And when it runs to 1 hour 15 minutes, together with this one is going to be 1.5 hours. And it's quite taxing for a lot of people, and also for me too, So it's stretched into quite long. And also last year, in the beginning when we start to do Zoom online, somewhere in May last year, somewhere in May last year, I gave starts from a lot of number of talks also. That time I start off with guided meditation, but then you see, to do Zoom, I need to depend upon my secretary of Peace House, which is Sister Hun Ling, and sometimes the husband also. And that time, of course, they still go to work in an office, not like right now. Perhaps they stay at home, but other times, if they have to go to office to work. And sometimes by the time they come back from the office and they want to start off with this one, they have to clean up, they have to wash up, they have to prepare the food, they have to prepare for the children, and they have to come to everything together. And then sometimes it's I don't want to tax them too much. And also, Sister Wheeling also is sometimes they do it for Pandit Jyotinanda also. Then also the same thing. So it can be quite taxing for them, and then to rush to prepare and everything. If I were to start off this one at 9 p.m. Then by the time we finish everything, will be 10:30 already. If sometimes stretch a little bit, 10:45 already. Oh, you'll be sleeping already. So it is sometimes it's not so easy. I purposely put it at 9 p.m. because in order for everybody to settle in. Sometimes 8:30, sometimes they come back, traffic jam and all sorts of unforeseen circumstances. Then it's a bit difficult. And also, on the international side, in a number of these Dhamma talk also, there are also from the other side of the world, which is 12 hours away or 13 hours away, in US. And then if I were to start early, then they also very early. If I start a bit later, then also slightly later for them. If not, this Dhamma talk will be at 6 a.m. for them. That is going to be very bit difficult. If I start off with 9, then sometimes it start off with 7, or if they are daylight saving, then it start off with 8. I think so, huh? So it's because of that I have to put the whole guided meditation aside. I know the guided meditation is good. I know. I understand that, but circumstances may not be favorable this time. But maybe in the future, who knows? Maybe my mood change already. I do something else already. We will let you know. I mean, we will see lah. We will see as we give the talk, and then after that, we'll see what in the future or in the near future what we're going to do. All right. Okay. Next one. Can yogi experience nibbana before entering the stream? No, cannot. Tak boleh, cannot. This is no entry zone. You cannot experience nibbana if you haven't reached the path and fruition consciousness. It's only the path and fruition consciousness one can see or one can experience nibbana. Other than that, cannot. Other than that, even you think that you may have in the early, because you have calmness, pleasantness, these are not nibbana. Sometimes people thought that they have a glimpse of nibbana, a glimpse of nibbana. I heard it for a long time about this one. And sometimes they sit down, meditate, they just have a very peaceful state of mind. A glimpse of nibbana. That is not nibbana. No way. This is only that is only your calmness of the mind, but that is not nibbana. Nibbana can only experience when you enter the stream. Sometimes some yogis may anyway, never mind. Okay, you cannot. Just put it very clearly to you. Okay, only the noble ones from Sotapanna onwards until Arahantship, then those people can experience nibbana. Okay, next question now. What is Bhante's opinion when a Buddhist disciple of a master spread misconduct of her master with the intention of getting him to disrobe? What's the outcome of the karma involved? She even circulated photostat copies, I think photostat copies of misconduct to other disciples. Okay. What's Bhante's opinion when a Buddhist disciple? Now, here you must know that I'm trying to answer your question here. And also I do not know the background of what is the misconduct of a master. Whether the misconduct is true or not true, I really do not know. And also I do not know what is the intention of the particular devotee who wants to spread all these things, whether the truth or lies, to other people. What's her intention? Is it real? Is it as in a motive? Is it an ulterior motive or motives? I really do not know. I really do not know. But apart from this thing, if that particular master have a lot of misconduct, then of course the karma will catch up with him, And if the karma doesn't catch up with him yet, maybe the law, or sometimes if his misconduct is a terrible misconduct, break the Vinaya rules only, but maybe break the social rules, the law of the country or so on, then the law may catch up with him too, So it's hard for me to this one. If the karma, if she do it with ulterior motive, then there's a terrible consequences. Sometimes it's this type of things. If there's truly ulterior motive because that monk hurt her or whatever, and then she gets very angry, hold a strong grudge, a strong resentment, want to get revenge in that sense, then she circulated all these things, then there will be definitely terrible karma, and that terrible karma end in hell. No, this one. So I cannot answer your question. I cannot really answer your question properly. Now you ask a second question. But the thing is that I don't really understand what you mean about your question here. Do we need to know the Dhamma with Saddha, faith with wisdom? One's foundation is not strong if one do charity with wisdom. Okay, so I don't understand your question. So I asked Sister Hun Leng to ask you to rephrase your question, and then you replied, only faith with no Dhamma knowledge, one can easily be converted into other religion. And it makes me even more confused. I don't know what you replied and how you're going to connect with your charity and so on. Yeah? But after thinking about it now, I think what maybe what you want is this. I think let me this one first. I think what you want is this. You want to cut this thing off. Cut this thing off lah. All these things you cut off. Perhaps you want to know if one's foundation, if one's is not strong, if one's do charity without wisdom, then maybe easier for me to this one. Now, if your foundation is not strong, let's say when you want to do a generosity, charity, service, and you do not have much wisdom here is the wisdom of the Dhamma, not just everyday wisdom. The wisdom here means you may not know karma and its effect, karma vipaka, or you do not know dependent origination, or you do not know the 5 precepts, or you do not know all these things. Okay, so when you do not know these things, the teachings of the Buddha, or even there is a merits. That means they say when you do something good, there will be wholesome. There will be happy resultant. In the terms of good merits. Also karma too. So if one do not have that foundation, then the charity, the service, or the giving, it's still giving. There are still wholesome merits, but it is not that strong compared to another person who has the wisdom of karma and vipaka, wisdom of Four Noble Truth, wisdom of the 5 precepts, wisdom of the merits in that sense. If they have that with wisdom, then that wisdom will become very supportive in the sense of it will make the merits even more stronger. Even make the merits even more stronger. Sometimes there are devotees, may think that when you do dana, don't think about the merit, After you think of merit, you can attach to the merit. Well, there is some truth into it, because there are people who attach to the result, in the sense that do this good deeds already. After that, I go buy the number and I strike the lottery. You attach to the result. Now, when you attach to the result, that becomes the attach. There's a charity. It comes with attachment, which is not good. Still charity, still there's wholesomeness, but it's tainted by greed here. But if you offer this dana and you do this charity and you become generous, and then you understand there is a merit involved. There will be good merits will arise, but you are not attached to it. You have understanding about your action. Then when you do that, then therefore the merits will be powerful and not tainted with greed. It's not tainted with greed. Okay? So something like that. I think what you mean, I know, because I have no much of this one. The sada comes because perhaps you have a lot of faith in doing good deeds. Wonderful, the faith in doing, that good deeds is good, because when there's a wisdom, then they'll be perfect. Yeah. Okay. On the next one. Bhante, my understanding of these two levels of sada correct? Pakati Saddha, serenity faith, is just the confidence that arises from believing in the theories of Buddhism. 2. Okappana Saddha, trusting faith, is the confidence that arises after experience the truth of the Four Noble Truths firsthand, but he or she is not yet stable on their faith because of insufficient experience and defilements, so you will go back to the serene faith. Okay, let's talk about number 1. Now, here the serenity faith here, the confidence arises from the, not to say just believing, but it's more of an truly understanding the theories of Buddhism. That means, just now, for example, when you talk about dana, when you talk about dana, you know that people who have the inclination of doing all this good service, then when they have this good heart, open-handed, they are generous, and then together with the wisdom, when it's connected together, then that type is called serenity type of faith. That the faith comes together with wisdom, not just believing in the theories of Buddhism. Of course, you want to put it believing. It also is fine, it's not to say. But the right word is truly understand, at least on the intellectual level, on the reflective level, and then together with it, you put it into action of offering, of giving the service. Now that is called Pakati Saddha. All right. Now Okappana Saddha, the trusting faith. Okay. Now here the confidence arises experiencing the Four Noble Truths firsthand. I wouldn't say all the Four Noble Truths, because here, first of all, the third noble truth belum sampai lah. You haven't reached the third noble truth, which is the nibbana and so on. What is more correctly, if you put it, after experiencing the mind and matter, if you put it as mind and matter directly, first hand, then it becomes Okappana Saddha, because this time you see the true nature of the different elements, the wind element, the hardness, or the earth element of hardness, softness, wind element as moving and so on. When you notice those elements, then you notice them firsthand, or you notice the state of mind. You notice greed, you notice mindfulness, you notice how the mind becomes contracted, sleepy, or become expanded, clear. You notice the mind in this way and that way. Then you notice it firsthand. When you notice this firsthand, then because you are paying attention to it together, because your mind is clear, that is called Okappana Saddha. Now, while you are doing these things, while you are practicing in the meditation, especially in the Vipassana meditation, sometimes the defilements can still come in because of the impermanency of the nature of saddha, impermanency of the nature of the viriya, or the sati, all the concentration, wisdom, they are all impermanent. So because of their impermanence, sometimes they become weaker. And then defilements, especially like the craving, may sort of like sneak inside into our mind. And that time sometimes for those people who are inclined into faith, then sometimes they become feel good, and then they want to stop the meditation, and then they want to go into pay respect to the Buddha, or they want to go chanting and they want to go offering, do something like that. So they fall back into serenity type of faith. And because of that, behind it, there's a craving involved. There's attachment involved. So because of that attachment involved, it becomes default. It becomes imperfection of your development of the insight. Okay, so yes, also because of insufficient of experience too. Because this one, the practice go on and on until we become more and more experienced, and then we know that going to this chanting and don't do it right now while they are meditating. Then your mind knows that which path is to come back, and then you just stay with the meditation, and you stay with the meditation, and then you put all this thinking aside. Then it's Okappana Saddha. Okay, so not too bad. So I boleh tahan, pass. Okay, next question. If Saddha, faith, is the catalyst that brings one into spiritual path, with gradual progress, faith needs to be abandoned, as per the simile of the raft. For a yogi to progress in meditation, how do we overcome the clinging of comfort in the household life and set forth? Oh, you want to set forth, eh? Okay. Now, if you're a householder, like most of you here, I think all of you here, if you're a householder, you're a layperson, layman, and then you have families and you have careers, you have children, you have 1001 things. Yeah. And you want to progress in the meditation. It's like, this is like, going through a 180-degree type of, it's like the Buddha says, like, household life is one way, to the left. Meditative life of monk's life or nibbana is on the right. They cannot meet each other. But that is ultimately that is true. But as a layperson, then it is good that we know how to manage our lives, manage our time, and manage our household and so on. If you want to set forth, if you want to progress, and you do not want to be a monk and so on, or a nun, you want to progress. Therefore, you must able to manage your time. And you manage your time in the sense that with the faith in the meditation that you may have, then you manage your time. Okay, this at a certain time, I want to go for a retreat. I want to take this 2 weeks off. I want to take this 1 month off. You have to, cham siong with your family, you have to have agreement with your family. Also, you must have the agreement with your bosses and your superiors and so on, because you are a layperson. You don't have the luxury like a monk do, or a nun also. So you do not have this luxury of, you have to take permission, you take agreement with them that I want to go for these things. You have to go through a number of all these things to cut them off for a while. If one doesn't want to cut you off, you cannot go already. If you want to go meditation and then your wife look at you with a long face, she didn't tell you, but long face, you also bosong already to go there. You don't feel happy to go well meditation already. Yeah. So as a layperson, you must have to come with an agreement with the different parties. And then you go and do a meditation. That would be ideal. That would be very good. Then you can really meditate. Then you don't have to give up everything. It's just a month only, or 2 weeks, or 10 days. You sacrifice for that. After all, you have been with them for so long already. Just 1 month cannot manage just for yourself. Yeah. After all, it's not only for yourself, but when you change, they also actually can see the change in the long run. Anyway, what is here is that you must manage your time. You manage your time so that when you're away from all your worldly things, then you abandon the clinging, at least for a while. You abandon the clinging, at least for a period of time. You go for a meditation. If you know that when you're in the lockdown, it's so not easy for you to meditate. When you want to meditate, especially those who are in the EMCO and now all the barricade here and there, all the this one is sometimes it's going to be very difficult. So the mind won't able to settle down. There's a fear of whether have food or not and all that thing. It's not so easy even right now to meditate for some of us. So actually, you have to be away from the house. You have to away from the house. You out of sight, out of mind. Out of mind, that means the clinging is not so strong. For most people, especially those who come to meditate. There are some people, of course, the clinging still can be quite strong. Okay? All right. So, make time. If you are at home, of course, you try to have less. Now you are at home, you try to have less attachment to the TV and to your internet and so on. If you have less attachment to those things, you find a little bit of time, then at least better than nothing, at least better than nothing for now. And then 2. When we realize how the Dhamma is eroded when Buddhism is propagated in our midst, the self-serving interest, the disputes, the dissatisfaction, the petty conflicts in view, affinity and judgment to our society, association, Buddhist fellowship, and life are all clinging. That is the cause of dukkha in our individual engagement experiences. Buddha never named successor other than stating the Dhamma, and Vinaya will be the guide. The question is, are we so influenced in our ways by books, authority, and religion that the truth of the Saddhamma, true Dhamma, is sacrificed? Now, the thing is that, a lot of us are very intellectually inclined. And because of that intellectually inclined, we like to read. We like to read and we like to read many stuff. Not only read many stuff, but we want to rationalize, we want to reflect deeply. The problem is that the reflection and the reading is not the problem. It's the craving behind it that you attach to it without you knowing it. Without you understanding that craving so strong deep inside. But the prominent front is all this beautiful rationality that you have, beautiful thoughts that you may have, or do you feel all this beautiful, wonderful image about the Dhamma, image about what can be done, and all this conceptual understanding that you have, that you attach to him very strongly, and you want to debate into it, and sometimes because of your attachment, your pride also comes out, and then you want to show off your rationality to people also. Sometimes the person may they want to tell off others, or the speaker or others, about their opinion and so on. A lot of times, I've seen in other Q&A session, they like to not here but other places. They like to state their opinion very strongly. A very, very long-winded attachment, all these things, and then they want to share with people all these things, but without realizing that a lot of attachment is there. So when they have all this attachment, and a lot of time because they don't have much of a practice, therefore they begin to form that opinion, and that opinion sometimes be out of the Dhamma. It bends away from the Dhamma. When it bends away from the Dhamma, and they get attached to that opinion, and they attach to it, they cling to those opinions, and then therefore they write in the books, they write in the this thing, and then it becomes like a Other people, when they read it, they become attached to it. So the problem is that this craving, and some of us are like that. Some of us are not. All of us are like that. If you know who you are, if you know that you are clinging to a lot of this thinking, you got to be careful. I said, reading and reflecting is not the problem. I need to reflect to give a Dhamma talk, but I always change. I always keep it an open mind, because I always think that there are always new knowledge for me to understand. Yeah? So the attachment, how to tell people the attachment, these things, it's very difficult. You say, you are clinging to your ideas. What clinging? What clinging? What attachment to your idea? What? Can't see it. This is not like the attachment to all these ideas and concept and all that. This thing is not. This is not that you can touch and you can feel. This is not like your jewelry that you are attached to it and so on. You can feel. This is very, very immaterial in the sense that you cannot touch at all. You only can feel unless one person can see it further. Then you only can break that chain. If not, that chain is very strong. For some people, it can be very strong. The path of one's balance and peace for harmony to arise. Somehow it is ironic to see our ignorance and clinging giving authority to power and remaining in delusional habit of glorifying the externalities. Is this Maya illusion is? The ignorance that keeps us further apart from seeing the truth of seeing the nature of things. Yes, sir, of course, this is all our delusion. All the delusion, because we cannot see the truth, we cannot penetrate into the nature of mind and body. We only think and think and think and think and think. The more that we think, the more pasikat, the more entangled we are in the thinking. We don't realize it. We thought that our thinking is still great and wonderful, So it's, yes, this is all illusion. This is all terrible illusion. Okay? Last question. I have two questions. Bhante, can you explain why Brahmas of the first jhana realm and the inhabitants of hell possesses different bodily forms but possess the same kind of sanya, perception, consciousness? Can you explain why Brahmas of the second jhana realm, who possess the same kind of body, can have difference in their consciousness? Okay, this one again from the Mahasi Sayadaw's, one of the Mahasi Sayadaw's book. Here is the first one, 7 station of consciousness. Okay. By right now, many of you already entangled inside the pasikat already, inside you do not know what this is all about. Understandable, all right? Okay. Now, before we tell you about what is the 7 station of consciousness, and also to understand the question, you need to know a little bit of background understanding of what it means by 7 station of consciousness. Where is the 7 station of consciousness come out? Now, this one, 7 station of consciousness come out from here. Mahanidana Sutta, the great discourse on causation in the Dika Nikaya, Sutta number 15. It's a long sutta, and this sutta is one of the most profound sutta in the Suttanta basket. Here I only take up an excerpt of it only, a part of the small part of the sutta on this 7 station of consciousness. But the earlier part of the sutta is talking about the dependent origination. The whole dependent origination is being mentioned, and then they give you a lot of deeper understanding of dependent origination, and this in Mahanidana Sutta. Okay, and towards the end of it, the Buddha mentioned about 7 stations for consciousness. Ananda, there are these 7 stations for consciousness and 2 bases. What are the 7? There are ananda beings who are diverse in body and diverse in perception, such as human beings, some gods and some beings in the lower realms. This is the first station of consciousness. There are beings who are diverse in body but identical in perception, such as the gods of the Brahma order who are generated through the first jhana. This is the second station for consciousness. There are beings who are identical in body, but diverse in perception, such as the God of streaming radiance. This is the third station of consciousness. Then carry on. Carry on. Okay. Now, to understand what is meant by this seventh station of consciousness, you all know your 31 planes of existence. Okay? In the 31 planes of existence is one way how we describe the different types of existence, the different types of beings in the whole samsara. Okay. Now, seven station for consciousness and two bases. They are also describing the 31 planes of existence in another form, in a sense that how the consciousness is connected to the body. Whether it's a body of a human body or a deva or a Brahma. It's just a different way of looking at it. It's just that when you look at 31 planes of existence, it's measured by meter. Metric system. If you're looking at 7 stations of consciousness and 2 bases, it's measured by yard. There's just a different way of looking at the existences. Okay, this is what it means here. All right. Now, to understand 7 stations of consciousness also and 2 bases, and to understand each and every one of them, you also need to understand what it means by resultant consciousness. That means the first consciousness that arises in you. Okay. All right. Let me this one. Okay. Now, in Abhidhamma, the rebirth consciousness is divided into 4 types by way of roots. Okay, there's triple rooted, those endowed with non-greed, non-hatred, non-delusion. Double rooted, endowed with non-greed and non-hatred. Rootless, wholesome resultant, and rootless, unwholesome resultant. Okay, to understand this, then you see, triple rooted. For those Brahma reborn, that they are triple rooted. Some human beings, they are born with double rooted, triple rooted, double rooted, or rootless resultant, wholesome resultant. Rootless, unwholesome resultant is those beings born in the lower planes of existence, especially like in hell. They are rootless, unwholesome resultant. So that those people who are, if in the current situation, if those who are triple rooted, then they have the capacity, they have the potential. They have the potential to get enlightened in this very life if they practice. For those who are double rooted, for those human beings are double rooted, they able to do a lot of good deeds, but even they meditate, they cannot get enlightened in this very life because of the non-delusional. Non-delusion means wisdom. Another word for non-delusion is wisdom. Non-greed here means is the generosity, is the non-attachment of things. Non-hatred here can be connected with metta and so on. Just may not be, non-hatred. So non-delusion here is the wisdom. So those who are double-rooted, according to Abhidhamma, then it says that you may not attain in this life, or even achieving the first jhana also, or the second jhana and more jhana too, because you need the triple rooted even to attain jhana too. All right. Then you may ask, was he double rooted or is he triple rooted, Tom Kim? I'm double rooted or I'm triple rooted right now. I meditate, cannot progress. Maybe double rooted sibo, Bante. Don't ask this question to me because I really do not know how you meditate. Now, if you want to know whether you are double rooted or triple rooted, you are not rootless wholesome resultant, because if you are rootless, that means you perhaps you're born blind and you're born with the mentality is not right. I know you have a challenge in that sense. So you're not number 3, you're number 1 or number 2. But you do not know where you are, for a lot of people. So the thing is that okay, now what I think, if you can understand the Dharma talks, you can understand the Dharma talks, and you can desire to practice, and you can somewhat able to progress, most probably we are in the triple rooted already. Yeah, most probably lah. I cannot be for sure until you are enlightened, then we are sure. Or until you can able to achieve the real first jhana, then we are sure. Other than that, we are not sure. So as long as you keep on practicing, you don't worry about whether you are double rooted or triple rooted. As long as things can progress, perfectly all right. Yeah. Don't blame yourself double rooted because all this thing. This is not the way of how you should supposed to do this one. Although some of you may learn Abhidhamma. Okay. Now, when you understand this one, this is connected with all beings of existence. All the 31 planes of existence. Beings are either 1, 2, or 3 or 4. 1, 2, 3, or 4. Okay. Now, the question is this. Can you explain why the first jhana realm and also the inhabitants of hell possesses different bodily forms, but possess the same kind of perception, consciousness? Okay, all right. So, to understand this, you have to also need to know a little bit to remember about this one. Okay. I can't put it up too high because those people who are looking at from Facebook, especially on your right side, you're going to block already. Something is going to block you already. My face is, or my video is going to block you. So those we try to take note. Let me focus on this thing for a while. Hold on, view to make it a little bit bigger. Okay. All right. Now, first, this is the different realms of existence. Okay. Now you see the black one. The black one here. First jhana resultant, second jhana resultant, third jhana resultant, fourth jhana, and fifth jhana resultant. Here is going through an Abhidhamma way of looking at jhana. All right. The one that I put in the orange color, you see the orange color, first jhana, second jhana, third jhana, fourth jhana. This one is going through a sutta way of jhana. Now, how do we correlate first this Abhidhamma and the sutta together? Here, according to the commentaries, that if your wisdom, if your faculty of wisdom is strong, okay, you will go through one jhana, second jhana, third jhana, fourth jhana. Okay? If your wisdom is weak, then when you practice, you go through first jhana, second jhana, third jhana, fourth jhana, fifth jhana. All right? It is not a difference in the whole this one. It's just a matter of your faculty of your wisdom. Which if it's strong, if it's sharp, you go through the 1, 2, 3, and 4, which is correspond with the whole thing. Yeah. So that one, don't worry about that. Okay. Now here, why is it that the question, the second station of consciousness here is that why is it that the body is different, but the sanya, they are the same? In the sense that the consciousness is the same. Now you look at the realm of existence here. The first jhana here, Brahma retinue, Brahma ministers, Mahabrahma, okay? First jhana resultant, all right? This is the one. Now, in this one, the rebirth here in this first jhana here, the Brahma retinue, Brahma ministers, and Brahma, this one, their body is different. Their body is different. Okay? But the mind, this consciousness, or the resultant consciousness, is the same. Because they resulted from the first jhana. And the first jhana, it comes with triple rooted. But because of how they meditate, because of there's INFR, inferior, medium, superior. Yeah, again at the here, it's because how they meditate while they are, let's say, they are human being. If their jhana, the first jhana is inferior, then they are reborn as a Brahma retinue. Brahma retinue means like a helpers to the Mahabrahma or Brahma ministers. Then if your jhana is medium, then your Brahma ministers become a minister, and your superior become Mahabrahmas. So here, as I said, the body of this Brahma, the retinue ministers and Mahabrahma, their body different. But because of the arise from the first jhana, therefore their consciousness or resultant consciousness the same. 明白吗? Can or not? They are the same because you see, human beings. Let's say about human being. Human beings, we have body is different. You and I looks different. The man and woman looks different. And also we have different resultant consciousness also, because they have a triple rooted, double rooted, no root. So human beings is diverse. But for this Brahma retinue, Brahma ministers and Mahabrahma here, they are different in body, but they arise from the first jhana resultant, and the first jhana resultant is all triple rooted resultant. So they are all the same. Okay? They are all the same. In the sense of their mind, in the sense of resultant consciousness. Okay. Body is different. Alright? So you see this one here, there are beings who are diverse in body, perception, and human beings. Diverse in body, okay. Beings who are diverse in body but identical in perception. Such as the Brahma gods who are generated through the first jhana because of so this is the station for how the consciousness comes in. Now the third one, there are beings who are identical in body but diverse in perception, such as the god of streaming radiance. This is the third station of consciousness. Look again a little bit more. Okay. Now again here, those people who are going to reborn in the second jhana realm also are triple rooted also. They are also triple rooted. All of them comes in at triple rooted, but they have a slight difference in that sense. Okay. Now you see the second jhana here. Now we are talking about the second jhana. Body is the same, but the consciousness is different. Although right now, let's say the consciousness is different or the perception is different. Here, you see, the second jhana and third jhana realm, second jhana and third jhana, they are reborn with the triple rooted, so they are, in a way, they are the same, right? But then, if you know the components of the five jhanas, which is Vitakka, Vichara, Piti, Sukha, and Ekagata, right? You have what do you call that? In initial application, sustained application, joy, pleasant feelings or bliss. And then you have this one. All right. Now in this second jhana and third jhana, because of you can able to eliminate as you go from second jhana and third jhana. For those people who are weak in wisdom one, if you go from second jhana and third jhana, because you can eliminate vitaka and or vichara from there on. So for example, if you come at the second, because you practice jhana and you reach second jhana in the Abhidhamma way, then when you reach this second jhana, you come in at without vitaka. You come in without vitaka, but your vichara is still there now. Okay, that means you don't have initial application, but your sustained application is still there. Therefore, you reborn in the second jhana resultant. And those people who practice more and they come into the third jhana resultant as this, then they have also removed vichara also. That means vitaka and vichara are also removed. Okay, vitaka and vichara also removed. So therefore, because of the second and third jhana, there's a difference in the mental faculty or the vitaka and vichara, the mental components. Therefore, they are different in sanya. The body is the same, although it's called minor, lustre, and invite. They all look the same, but it's only the brightness of the body has a different brightness only. You see the realm of existence here, minor, lustre, infinite, radiant, minor, infinite, radiant. Again here, you see the body is all the same. It's just that this one is different. Whereas the Brahma retinue, they look different from each other. I think so, That's what they mentioned in this one. So therefore, the body is the same, identical in body, but because of the second jhana, third jhana they have, then therefore they come in as different. They come in as different. Okay? Now, here again, Sorry, I got back again to this one. According again, some inhabitants of hell possess different body form, possess the same kind of perception. Here it means again, that those beings reborn in the hell, they are rootless resultant, unwholesome resultant. All beings reborn in hell have this rootless, unwholesome resultant. They cannot have the first three anymore. Okay? But there are different types of hell, different types of beings of hell. Therefore, the body is different. Then only they can torture you, because of the body is different. So, but the mind is all coming with the rootless resultant. Okay? I know it's a bit difficult. But no. Before we go, if you want to understand these things a little bit more, you want to go back and read, you can actually also download the whole book itself, Okay. Now, you can download the whole book itself, and you see, 7 station of consciousness. CY is the commentary. Sub CY here, if you're able to see, sub CY is the sub commentary. What is meant by the 7 station of consciousness and all those things? This translation is done by Bhikkhu Bodhi, and it tells you each station of consciousness, what it means by that. You see, beings is diverse in body and diverse in perception, such as human beings and some gods and some beings in the lower realm. Yeah? Then after that, it will tell you There, beings who are diverse in body but identical in perception, such are called Brahma order of generated. So what do you mean by Brahma order? Everything they tell you. What is the sub-commentary? What did the commentary says? Because I'm not able to fly over to the Brahma world to able to see their body, so I have to rely on the commentary. So if you want to read the commentaries, you can download this book. Wait, I stop sharing. You look at the video in front. You can go on this book, The Great Discourse on Causation, translated by Bhikkhu Bodhi, and you translate also the commentary and the sub-commentary also. You can get this book either by buying in the Amazon or whatever, or you can, you type this one and you go in, and you can get free also. You can get free download too. But the thing is that this book, it's difficult to understand, even with the commentaries also, because it talks about dependent origination. There's a lot of dependent origination. But it's good that if you want to know, for the person who questioned, you want to know more, you can read this book, you can download them, or you can borrow from a library if they have. And then you can know more and more things about it. For those who are still Mong Cha Cha, still do not know what I'm talking about now, it's okay lah. It's okay. This is a bit difficult, understand. A bit question. Difficult question. All right. That's it for tonight. That's all for now. Okay, we share merits. Oh yes. Before we this one, I gotta let you all know something. On Monday, there will be no Dhamma talk. On Monday, Tuesday, we will continue the Dhamma talk on Wednesday. Monday, I go to Chuchuk, the jab for my vaccine. So in the morning, if I go, sometimes at night, sometimes if there is side effect, I may get some side effect, and then it's going to be difficult for me to give a Dhamma talk. So give me a day or two just to rest. Then we continue on Wednesday again. Okay, so Monday, we don't have Dhamma talk, right? All right, now we share merits.